On today's episode of Detour, we're continuing on the conversation that we had in the last episode regarding the recession and how to handle it. And I really want to talk about mindset. And I don't really talk about mindset because I'm a believer that mindset really only comes into play when you're struggling. And now, do you have the mindset to really capitalize on potentially an opportunity? But more importantly, along the way, have you been grateful? Are you thankful for the situation you are currently in? Or are you being a burden to the people around you? It's a really interesting time to think about where you are mentally and would it have been differently if you had treated the last couple years differently? So let's get into it. Let's talk through it. Thank you, everyone, for sharing the podcast. Please continue to do so. An unbelievable response over the last couple episodes, so thank you very much. And if you want to continue to see more behind the scenes stuff, check out my vlog. I released an episode on how my business has been dealing with coronavirus. I also wanted to share a win. We launched a collaboration for our brand, Alice Gray, a luxury brand we started a year ago with Bad Bunny. And in the midst of this crazy coronavirus chaos, we had our biggest week ever. It's a fascinating story. It's all on YouTube. Search my name. You can check out the video. It gives you a full kind of behind the scenes of what happened last week. Check it out. It's really cool. And let's get going. So the last episode, which I talked about kind of how to deal with the recession and how to deal with obviously these enormous changes in our life due to this crazy virus. And, I got an enormous amount of feedback. So thank you. It's probably going to be my biggest episode ever, which is awesome. But one of the things I did also get a lot of was I got a lot of really great messages of positivity and appreciation. And an event like this, where everyone's lives have changed. So, from a health standpoint, we're obviously extremely scared. Uh, People are, literally not allowing themselves to be around other people. And then economically, we're going to see this brutal impact, right? So, all these different industries are being affected. People's jobs are going to be lost. People's lives are clearly impacted. I think as painful as this has become, and I mentioned it in a previous episode or two, it has allowed us to have a reset. And the biggest thing to take away from that is a lot of people didn't appreciate the situation they were in. You only appreciate something when you don't have it anymore. And I have gone through some enormous highs and lows in my business, but I always appreciated what I got to do for a living. And even in the toughest days, I still reflect and am very grateful. And there's something that is lacking in our culture for the last, call it 7, 8 years in this crazy boom of just apathy where you go on with your day at a job as an entrepreneur and you take everything for granted. And now you're scrambling because you took it for granted. How many people had that great job and they were like, I don't want to work it for the man. And man, wouldn't those benefits be nice right now? Wouldn't it be nice getting paid or having great health insurance? Like, often when you make decisions in life, you have to consider all options. And that's why I also think there's something about entrepreneurs that are married with children, how they view the world versus a young single person. So, I mean, my kind of vigor and energy and excitement and ideas when I was in my 20s, I always felt that I could do anything. And I took these enormous risks and sure I won sometime, probably lost more. And today I sit as someone that's married, have a child, another one on the way, and my decision making ability has evolved drastically. and for the better. I take calculated risk now. I still take a lot of risk, but they're thought through a little bit more. I am very like deliberate when I think or do something because I want to see an result or an impact. Whereas before I was very much thinking of like, oh, I'm just going to try this and see what happens. And now if I don't see a pathway where this makes an impact in my life, I won't do it. And I think that comes because of the fact that I am married and I do have kids and I have responsibilities and my time is precious. My assets, meaning money, are precious because I have to provide for my family at all costs. And as you kind of get older, you have a very deep appreciation for the things you have. And I think that's actually a valuable skill set in being an entrepreneur. And I'm noticing it now because of how reckless people operate their business in good times. And then how reckless they are in their personal life, how reckless are your work life. You take things for granted, the way you talk to people, the way you treat people, the way you spend money, the way you kind of, I don't know, show up to work, the energy you bring. Now that you could lose everything, you change your attitude, you change the way you live. And in some cases, it's going to be too late because we all know what's coming. What's coming is mass layoffs across all industries. We know that there will be pain felt in the job market. And who do you think is going to get cut first? The person with the bad attitude, the person that wasn't appreciative. Like, yes, you're going to pick the people that are kind of mission critical for your business. You want the most talented. But guess what? When you're in a recession, that there's a lot of good talent out there. You know how many really talented people are going to be out of a job in the next 3 to 6 months or are going to be looking for a new opportunity? And so this is an employer's market. And if you're an entrepreneur, you have to go through and look at your team and say, do I have the best team possible? And for me, being in fashion, it's hard, we were competing against technology companies that were just outbidding us on staff because they can, because they're venture backed or because their business model is different and they have that ability to spend. And we, focused on people that came from the fashion industry. Now the tables have turned and I feel that there will be an opportunity for entrepreneurs, one, to pick the best talent, and then for really talented employees, you're going to have to change your attitude because you have to be appreciative of the situation you're in. Because what do we need now more than anything? We need really positive thinking, really good energy. And that will help change an organization in times like this. So I just really want you guys to think about in your life, in your business, are you appreciative? Have you been thankful? How do you treat the people around you? Because, you know, a lot of people have been talking about mindset for the last 5 years, whether it be in books, whether it be in podcasts. Mindset, honestly, in my opinion, matters most when times are tough. Times are officially tough. So, how are you adjusting? How are you taking those learnings and applying it to your business and your personal life? Because if you actually take advantage of all those things you may have been subconsciously soaking in, you can end up in a very, very great place a few years from now. Like I said in previous podcasts and on group chat, there's going to be pain. There's no doubt about that. But you can really change your fortunes today. And I remember in 2008, I was so busy just trying to survive and play defense that I didn't get a chance to play any offense. And then it took years later when I actually started playing offense again. Today, in the current crisis, obviously survival, making sure my team's intact, the business is intact, everyone stays healthy. That's obviously priority one. But that's one side of my brain. The other side is trying to think of how can we really take advantage of this? What is it, marketing? Is it cutting costs? Is it finding new opportunities? Like, I've gone through this enough to know that we know coming out of this, there's going to be people that get really, really, really rich. Why not it be you? Why not it be me? And so we have to keep our eyes open. We have to protect what we have, but we also have to find where the next opportunity is. Because I'm telling you, this will be a moment that we will all read about of like, wow, I wish I capitalized on this. So really take that time, appreciate what you have, and find the next great opportunity. And we'll all look at it together. I mean, a lot of this is really thinking and conversations and just knowing what you're good at and applying it to the market that we're in today. Think through it, have discussions, and you can come out on top after this. Good luck.